Looks like we're live, guys. So, yeah, welcome. The third episode of Gamekod3rs. It seems like we're actually making this a thing. Pretty exciting.
Trying.
Thanks for coming and joining me, Jake, Dylan, and of course you, Adam.
Yup.
Yeah. Does anybody want to shout out any channels or anything like that, or any things personal before we get started? Adam,
I mean,
I know
I
you
hate
got a
to
channel.
shout out my own channel.
Do it.
I don't even know what the name of it
What
is.
is the name of your channel?
I think it's just Adam Plays Stuff.
Yeah, I
that's
think it's
definitely
probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to have like an individual channel, but I don't do much on there.
So if we want to watch Adam play stuff, we
Go to Adam
we
Plays
find
Stuff.
YouTube,
Yeah.
Adam plays stuff.
That would be the best bet.
Yep.
Dark Souls series is probably his longest one.
My longest and only. I started
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts and then
I'm
Got
still
it.
working through the
Oh,
Dark
so
Souls.
the only thing I've ever seen on Dark Souls is that you died screen.
I do die a lot,
That too. So
especially towards the middle.
okay, well, let's kick things off. Today's probably going to be a pretty Microsoft heavy episode because there's a couple major things that have happened. And I know that at least two people, well, three, if you count me, I've played just a little bit, have been playing some Mass Effect. And I know that, Adam, have you beaten Zelda yet, or are you close?
I am currently shrine hunting.
Okay.
I found a crap ton up in the snow like was it Northwest?
Okay.
I totally missed them the first time around.
I probably found a bunch of those. I'm at 100 out of 120 now.
I'm at 110.
I'm 90 hours in.
I'm at I'm either 110 or 114.
That,
I just found 4 more.
Like
Yeah.
so many, and I don't know how I'm gonna find them because.
But you do it by specifically hunting.
That's
just-
what
I
I'm trying to do.
I
I'm
pick a
trying
side
to
of the map
go
and then I
down.
just like up and down the map.
Grid searching.
Yep.
It's been the hardest part so far, but I beat the game. I'm gonna get this out of the way because obviously we're gonna go Microsoft for the last 2/3 pretty much. I beat the game. Without saying anything too much, the boss was better than I thought it would be. Like the game was probably the best open world game I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
Hands down. Like I don't think it's anything that's even come close to it yet. Story was okay. Like it was fine, and I don't know. I beat it, and I immediately put another 20 hours into it. So
Yeah.
you can see that I'm probably not going to stop playing it for a
Which
while.
I'm glad to
That's
know.
always nice. You can do that.
Because I didn't know whether or not it would cut me off. And then I realized it can't cut you off because there's DLC coming.
It doesn't cut you off, but it also doesn't have like a post world. Like you just go back.
No,
to
yeah.
right before it, so you end up having you're right before beating the boss again. It's just
Yeah.
fine because there's so much shit to do, and
Yeah.
the stuff you do in the world actually has an impact on that final fight, which is really cool. And
Yeah.
we're not getting into too much specifics. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't get enough. I keep finding humongous things that I was like, how did I miss?
How did I miss that? Yeah.
90 hours. How have I not seen this before? Like what?
Yeah. I find those every time I play.
Yeah, and the shrines get better and better the more you play them. Like there's so
Mhm.
many cool ones that just shock me.
I always get disappointed when I hit one of those shrines where it's just like, here's a chest, good job.
Oh yeah, like because the puzzle was outside in the world.
Yeah,
and you had to solve something to find it, and it's it's like, well, you've proven your mettle. Here,
Yeah.
take a chest. Here's the orb. Okay,
Thanks,
damn.
I guess.
I want more, but yeah, it's really cool. So that's where I'm at with that. Probably same feelings for you, Adam.
Yeah, it's I want to beat it. I just don't want to beat it.
Yeah, it was kind of bittersweet.
I definitely once I do beat it, I'm gonna go back and play it in Japanese. Just
I
to
hope you learned
experience it.
Japanese from that.
I don't think I need to know it.
I think you do.
I mean, I know everything. Everything has icons that are very this is meat. This is. I mean, the only thing I'm missing out on are quests, but I remember the quests, so I won't need the text.
But he's got the meat down, so that's important.
Yeah.
As long as you
All
can-
I need, I don't even have to do the quests. I just need meat.
You just
Just go through the whole game and hunt.
Yeah,
quote of the year: I just need meat.
I just
That's
need meat.
No, yeah, I agree. I think you'll do fine. It's not like story is the most important aspect of the game. It's definitely cool. Some of the twists and turns are very fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And I actually hugely enjoyed the dungeons, even though they've been kind of like hit or miss with some people. Like I, think
I wish there were more.
so different.
I liked them. I just wish there were more.
I think that's a problem with like I got to the end of the game and I was like, don't end. Like that was my problem. Is like I just want more of the same. The good news is it sounds like they're gonna do open world for the next one too. So
yeah.
Did they say how many DLCs they're trying to push, or is it just gonna be like one big one?
There's one that involves like extra challenge shrines or something of that sort in summer, and then winter will be getting a story-based DLC.
Okay.
Yeah. And another dungeon actually.
And another dungeon, yeah.
Great, because
well, I assume that's part of the story of the DLC.
And Adam, like I've been like trying to speculate on like what the hell that can be, and
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, you have to assume it's after you beat the game.
Yeah,
or do you?
Knowing how the dungeons are in this game, like
I don't know.
Can't be one of those.
I guess we'll see.
Without saying anything, like it can't be one of those.
Yeah.
But I'm super pumped. I'm so excited. Yeah. Play it. Buy a Switch for it. Play it again.
Yeah, Jake.
Forever. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, that's all I have for that. Okay, well then let's jump into it. I don't know. I'm assuming you two have more to talk about with Mass Effect than Project Scorpio.
Absolutely.
So let's start with Project Scorpio. I'm gonna make you wait a little longer. These guys are like really excited to talk about Mass Effect. I've played a little bit, but I don't have as much to talk about. Project Scorpio, I feel like we can touch on more quickly. Obviously, Eurogamer, Digital Foundry got like the scoop, which was kind of cool. That was really unique. Did you watch that, everybody?
I didn't watch the video.
I didn't watch it yet. No, I read some stuff and I listened to a few reviews.
Well, it's super interesting because it's incredibly tech heavy. If you like that kind of stuff, if you're super into like just custom builds and getting to know like exactly like what's inside, they revealed way more than I ever thought that they would. Like they've always been fairly liberal with that information, but it was even heavy for me, and I was just like, okay, like that's cool, but the thing is a beast. 6 teraflops, thing can do native 4K. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
No denying it's the most powerful system on the planet.
It's like at what 2.3 gigahertz or something like
that. I don't know. I mean, it's
up there. I think it's over 2.
Yes.
Because the current one's only like 1.75.
Yeah, that's right. And then they also upped it to 12 gigs of RAM, which will be nice. And I think
DDR5.
Yeah, 8 are like available to the developers, which is huge.
Yeah. Because the Pro's still running DDR3, I think. The PlayStation Pro.
They do DDR5.
Do they?
PS4 original was like came out with that, and that was like one of their big selling points.
Okay.
Probably one of the reasons why it's had an edge for so long.
Yeah. Must have been the S I was looking at that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's going to be liquid cooled. That's pretty crazy.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it's got like the vapor cooling and stuff like
that.
Vapor
cooling, yeah.
Super interesting. I mean, the tech in it is like mind-boggling. What does that mean for games? Like, what does that mean for realistic thing? I'm not sure.
To me, though, you can take the best tech in the world, but if you have companies like Bethesda that release an unfinished game, it's not going to change your gaming experience at all. It doesn't matter what resolution it is.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I hear this a lot, and I thought this myself is Scorpio doesn't mean shit unless Microsoft can get out some better exclusives.
Yeah.
I mean, they killed their biggest exclusive, and like the Scorpio's not even out yet. So like, and they're not going to do the not backwards compatible, but no Scorpio exclusive. So you can't be like, well, maybe they're just putting it on the Scorpio because they promised they won't do that. Which I'm
okay with, because like if you do that and the PlayStation Pro's out, it's an obvious choice which one you choose at that point. Like, but for multi-platform games, like if people are really on the fence about whether or not they want to play on Xbox or if they want to play on PlayStation, like I think the obvious choice is as long as the Scorpio is not $600, which it might be, like very.
Yeah. I don't think it
the better experience.
I don't think it's going to be over 700. It's not going to be It's not going to be 400 because the PS4 Pro is 400.
Yeah, they kept saying 700 was the sweet spot. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, but that's high. I think.
Yeah.
You can't release a console for $700.
No, and that's why I think because we'll keep this in mind. The original PS3, Fat Boy PS3, launched at $600, and people bought. Yeah. So $700 is a little high, and it's not necessarily that it's high that's the issue. It's that for an extra $200 more, you could get a beastly PC rig.
Yeah.
Dude, for $700, you can get a really good PC rig
Yeah.
that would probably outperform the Xbox.
So if they go too high, someone's going to be like, "I'll just build a PC." If they go too low, then you feel like you're getting sold shit.
So
I think 550 to 600 is
500 would
the
be
target.
fly off
Yeah,
the
but
shelves.
the problem that I see with that price mark is that the fans of Xbox are fans of Xbox. So if Project Scorpio comes out with another console and it has the Xbox name on it and Halo comes out for it along with Battlefield, Call of Duty, whatever, the same fans are gonna buy it no matter what the price tag is. They'll skip over.
But it's not even the price of the Xbox. You got to keep in mind that the only real way to get use of this Xbox is to have a 4K TV, and the 4K TV adoption rate is not high.
No.
Yeah,
not at all.
And like you were saying earlier, if they don't have Scorpio exclusives, I mean, you could buy an S for what, $230, and that runs the 4K a little bit, not as high quality, but I mean, it's still running 4K. You can still do all the
I mean, the
bells
games
and whistles.
are 4K, but I get your point. Like all the media is, and like everything that matters for people outside of like the super hardcore, and they're gonna have the money to spend on a $700 console. No, I mean it's targeting PC gamers. Like if I'm being honest, like it's not targeting Xbox fans. Like
trying to get a little chunk from a different market.
like, you just built your like beast of a rig. It's $1,000 that you put into it almost. Like this is close. Like this is really close to how much power you're pumping out on that thing.
How would Microsoft be trying to take from the PC market when, if you look at like 90% of PC gaming, it's on a Windows machine?
They're not trying to break into the PC market. I think what they're trying to do is for that person who's on the fence of, hey, should I buy a console or should I buy a PC?
Or $1,000
If they're not a PC master race person, then they'll be like, oh, I can buy this Scorpio, which is almost as powerful as a nice computer. And now I don't have to build it. I don't have to worry about stuff. That's what they're going for. They're not trying. I don't think they're trying to steal PC.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that was
well, and it doesn't matter because it's like it would be like cannibalizing their own market. It doesn't really make sense to like push too hard. But yeah, I mean, it is targeting like the more hardcore people that look at those numbers and say 6 teraflops. That's a fucking powerful console. Like, there's no doubt. Like that's an impressive number, and if used right, it can absolutely make every game.
And well, that's the worst part is to use this console right. They're gonna have to have exclusives. They have to.
I agree. I think so. Yeah.
Because all it's gonna take is one company to be like, look, we want to make this game, but we can't make this work on the Xbox One. Sorry. And the Xbox is gonna be like, well, that game's gonna make a lot of money. We can know it. And then, then you've opened up the floodgates of once you start having exclusives, then you've gone back on your word of not having exclusives. That everything will work on all systems, and then you've screwed over.
Dichotomy, because like you just had the least powerful console released in the Switch. Like it's by far like not nearly as powerful. It holds itself okay if like you're just looking at it for like what it is.
It's not a Scorpio, but
no, it's not a Scorpio. And then you release the most powerful console that's ever existed, and it's not like by a small margin anymore. Like it's beating the PS4 Pro by quite a huge margin now, which was shocking to me. I didn't think they would be able to hit the 6 teraflops.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Someone, I don't know if it was the article, the Digital Foundry, but someone was saying that this feels more like the next generation as opposed to the PS4 Pro, which felt like this is just the PS4 with better innards. This
why they didn't change the name from PS4 to PS5.
Exactly.
It was just an addition.
Yeah.
It was
people are
DLC
saying
for the last generation.
yeah,
that's kind of true, actually.
People are saying with the Scorpio that this feels like a next gen console. And so there's all this like speculation about maybe it really is, and they're hoping that as people pick this console up, that it'll come to light. All the exclusives start coming out, and then you kind of have to get an Xbox Scorpio.
The exclusive that I had watched, the gentleman doing the video had mentioned that it has 33% more power than the current Xbox One on the market. That is a huge jump.
Oh, it has more than 33%.
Yeah, if you look at the side by side,
the CPU alone has 33% more power. Now, the Xbox One came out at the time with a dang good CPU in it.
It was powerful, yeah.
It was really good. Now, the fact that Microsoft has taken when did the Xbox One come out?
It's like 3 years.
God,
it's short.
Yeah, and within 3 years, they have revamped and
2.5.
if you add up all the statistics, almost doubled or it added 50%.
2013. Oh my God.
Oh God, we're old.
Yeah, so three years. Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing: is like, it's really early to be doing something that could be considered the
This
next
big. Yeah.
It's really early. Like the Xbox 360 had almost a 10-year life cycle.
Mhm.
10 years that thing was out,
Eh.
and nothing replaced it. Like, but it's super interesting. Like that's what people seem to be wanting for the most part. PS4 Pro is not selling poorly, like, which shocked me because what are you
Because
playing it on?
it's not 600,
Yeah,
$400
they do have,
is not bad. The PS4
not that-
launch was $3.
and you can find the Pro for $350 on sale places. You know what I mean? You can get it pretty reasonably.
Yeah, I feel like
I guess for new adoption that makes perfect sense, but like for anybody that has it, I think it's just like it's ridiculous. Like, why would you jump that much unless you have the equipment to play?
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's hard because even without a 4K TV, if I didn't have a PS4 and Sarah and I were one day we were ready to get a PS4, at that rate, I'd rather just save another $100 and get the PS4 Pro, even though I can't get all of it out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm future.
But you have it.
But
Yeah,
if you don't have an Xbox at all, I can't see like a new Xbox user going like, "Oh, I'll just shell out the $600 for a Scorpio."
That's what I was saying earlier. The people that have an Xbox and are fans of the Xbox market and playing games on an Xbox are going to buy it no matter what the price tag is.
Well, but see, shit, I don't know who did the study. They did a study. It might have been Google, where like Xbox is most popular from ages 13 to 17, and past that it's PS4. So you can only assume that your fan base are young to mid teenagers who I know don't have the money for those. Which is why you see PS4 being picked up a lot more, or PS4 Pro.
When you just bought one 2.5 years ago, it's hard. It's a hard sell. But no, I get what you're saying. Like it's a weird place to be in the market. The way it could succeed is it could shock all of us with the price. It could be like
that's going to be the biggest thing. Yeah,
450 and losing money on each one, but that thing would fly off the shelves if it's even close to a PS4 Pro, because there's no reason to go multi-platform, especially if you're thinking about like Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that, when you can run it at true 4K and you can do it at 60 FPS with no hitches, like with the best, texture filtering and all that stuff. I mean, people, they get off to that. Like, even though they really can't see it for the most part, like most of these changes are super minute. Like, it's not the end of the world unless you're super hardcore. Like,
well, see,
Dylan would feel it if he was playing Call of Duty, but I
I'd be so happy.
60 FPS, nothing drops. Like he'd be killing everybody.
I can only hope that this isn't some kind of like we're just gonna sneak the new generation out onto the market.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried.
It's more of like, let's give people who want better graphics. It's a luxury item. It's what it is. It's I want an Xbox that's just a little bit better than the Xbox, then I'll get the one. But I'm telling you, at the minute they announce an exclusive for the Scorpio, shit's gonna hit the fan. Shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, I mean, but
I really hope they don't do that.
Or people will buy it like crazy because there wasn't enough of an adoption. I don't know. Like, what I can say is this: I think that it's going to have a bigger and harder time facing the Switch than the PS4 Pro this holiday. Like, if I'm being honest, like most people that I've shown the Switch to in the real world, like they freak out. Like I've had 4 people since I've had it at work tell me, how do I get it? Where can I buy it? Like, and what can it do? Like, and immediately when we sat down and played some games, like I'm telling you, they've been like hunting pre-orders for the next 4 months. They're not even gamers, most of them. These people were like, what the is this thing? Like, how is this working? And I haven't seen that with a console in a while.
Speaking of,
it reminds me of like Baby Wii, like not not quite those levels of like craziness, but there's also less of them out in the world right now. So we'll see. I mean, the moment Mario hits, like I'll be surprised. I think Scorpio is going to have major trouble with people realizing that games are meant to be fun, not to be prettier. Like, and if you can make games more fun, it's a hard sell. Like, we'll see. Like, I do think that the PC is like where they're going to go after, is like those people that are like on the fence of, like you were talking about, like, do I buy a PC or do I buy a console? Yeah. And if they decide, like, it's a powerful ass system, dude. Like, it has some good games in there.
And that's the thing. I'll give them that. It looks like it's gonna you know, it's going to do some damage on PlayStation, but it's all about adoption rate.
E3's got to be good, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like everyone's like they're doing this early so that they can pull a Sony and be just games.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea, and
I'm hoping for it because I have an Xbox. I've had an Xbox. When did I buy my Xbox? Like a year ago, about. Yeah. And like I want more games because the games I wanted and bought an Xbox for were torn away from me.
He's still sad.
I'm so sad. I was so excited for that game.
Well, I was excited for Mass Effect.
Yes.
I hooked up my home Xbox with Jake, thinking, "Oh, great! I'll get to download the whole thing and play it simultaneously with him. We can share cool stories and have fun adventures in the new Andromeda Galaxy." So we get on the phone and we swap it all and we set it all up, and this motherfucker's like, I'm like, "Why isn't it working? Like, why isn't it letting me download it?" And he's like, "Oh, I bought it physically."
Wow.
So
yeah, it would have taken about a week to download because it's almost a 50 gigabyte game. With a 3 gig.
It doesn't take. It takes a week to download at your old house, Jake.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Not everyone's internet's that bad.
3 gigabytes. I downloaded in the night. I had a trial, so I have a 10-hour trial. I've played 2 hours so far.
10 hours is nothing.
I've only played 2 hours, like I said. So I
spent 10 hours.
First impressions are much better than I thought it would be. I'm really thrilled with it, but. Let's get into these guys' impressions.
So first, second, 10th, and 9th impressions.
Can we wait? Can I just say my thing? Because it's the only thing I have to say in this entire conversation for the rest of it.
Go for it.
They did release a patch that fixed some of the facial animations, and it looks so much better. Okay, it's such a subtle change.
It does look better.
Well, I just want to talk about it now because it's all I have to say. Because after this point, I'm out. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say they did fix it. It's not perfect, but they specifically, I saw the bit with the lady who's she's like my face hurts. I'm sorry, and just like it just looked more natural, and that's all I wanted. That's all I asked for.
So Adam, the interesting tidbit that you have about that you're really weirded out by the faces is pre-patch. This is the same exact faces from Mass Effect 2 and 3. Which are some of those beautiful games out. Yeah. Exact same animations. It feels like it's the same engine.
Yeah, I mean,
when you play the same animations, same textures.
I watched lots of like side by sides, and there
you saw 2%. Like that's my thing though. Is like you saw 2% of all of the cut together things that went wrong. Like I played it for 2 hours, and every animation was fine. And I mean, again, I'm not playing as long as them, but I've heard from them they don't have any problems with that. Here's the thing I will bring up with regards to that, because again, I don't have
but you can't tell me there were no issues when
there were.
They obviously addressed that there were issues.
No, I agree. But there were issues.
The issues that you specifically mentioned, the faces and some of those animations, have been the exact same style, same way, same weird look
from the previous game.
Yeah, but I've
previous 3 games.
Played one. I've played 1 and I started 2 just because I have it, and I don't remember it being that bad.
It's awful. It's not
awful.
Especially
it's 1's even worse. Yeah.
Yes, no, the second scene, Mass Effect 2, where you have control of your character, and the shepherd is getting off the hospital bed and groans in pain, is the most messed up face I think in gaming history.
It's priceless.
Best game I've ever played.
But it was also like one of the best stories ever told.
That's the thing.
So without the reason for it. Here's what I will say.
Also, just real quick, Jake, I never said it was a bad game. I remember when we talked about this last time, I never meant to make it sound like it's a bad game. No. I just hated the animation. It's two separate thoughts.
The impression that you gave off last time was that why buy a game that is unplayable? And I'm pretty sure you used these exact words.
Well, yeah, but not because it's bad. It's because why support a company who's not going to take the time to fix that shit
for us? Story.
Skyrim. Are you kidding me? Get off of that. Some of the worst animations I've ever seen in a game are in Fallout 4.
Oh. But Bethesda, I get it. Because I know I'm going into it. I played one and never had an issue. So if I picked up Andromeda and saw that stuff, I'd be like, what happened?
I think the big thing that happened here was like the graphics got such a boost, like the characters, models, the worlds, everything like that. It's the Uncanny Valley. Like the eyes look dead. I'll say that. Like
they polished everything up.
But
it doesn't help. They outsourced most of the human animation to like some other team, and so they're just trying to like do what they can with what they have. I'm not
Yeah.
pointing the finger directly at what's the game? I don't even know their names. BioWare.
BioWare, yeah.
I will say it was kind of shitty to like pass off that work.
So I think the reason that because they specifically said that they were focusing on the aliens.
Aliens
they're introducing. Well, that's the thing. This is a whole new galaxy where they're introducing multiple alien species that weren't in any of the previous games.
That's cool.
So I think they were kind of relying on the previous games for the previous content, and then trying to really refine the new stuff so that it's an engaging, experience that they can make multiple games off of.
That is something that it definitely has done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like I'm like 100% positive on it. 2 hours in, I'm still like, is this a Mass Effect game still? Like, and again, not enough into the story, not enough into like the gameplay, but it's so different. Like the feel of it, the gameplay speed, the way that like you interact with characters, the fact that these worlds are so open, like I'm so weirded out by that right now. Like it's not that it's bad, it's just so different. And so I'm trying to like wrap my head around it right now, but like I'm excited to jump back in. It's just I just keep getting pulled back into Zelda. So I need to like put it down, play Mass Effect.
You need to not have
I need to buy the game. Yeah, like that's gonna
not have the trial exactly. Because I feel like like you mentioned the open.
You want to download it for me?
Yeah, I would have just bring your Xbox over. I'll download it.
You live 40 minutes away.
Fine.
You're bickering like my wife.
Well, you're here right now. You could have just. Anyway, no, but yeah. I think that there's some concerns that I have, like that I may or may not be answered pretty quickly. But right now,
and like you said, the open world is so much different.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play more of it, and especially I'm assuming you're on the first planet at this point. I don't want to go into super spoilers.
To like the Citadel replacement plate. The next.
Okay. So you haven't gone to any planets or anything.
Mm-mm.
So when you get on planet, it feels open, and then the way the story progresses and the way the missions are, there's like natural boundaries that definitely like you can do things and you have to do some things on your own with no prompting, but as long as you're not like a mindless gamer and you're actually paying attention, like it all kind of pieces together, and then I felt it naturally moves on to the next section, this or that. I don't want to go into too many details on that end, where you're going and stuff, but like, yeah, but it definitely feels like if you put a little effort into it, it's not like a here's your story kind of game. Like you definitely have to decide what you want to do, dedicate a little bit of, effort into finding some story, and then it pieces more stuff together. Like it definitely I love the curiosity aspect of games like that, and it made that point for me. Like,
so along those lines,
nice.
Without trying not to give away too much,
yeah,
I still want to play it. There's an area where I've done absolutely everything that you can do.
Yeah,
and doing all of those things. When I first started, it looked like a Mass Effect game. It played like a Mass Effect game. There wasn't the attachment or nostalgia of having Shepard or the old crew with you, but completing all of those little side things that I had done filled out so much of things that at the time I thought were missing, but I had only put 15 hours into it at that point.
Okay.
And once I found those little pieces, there was, I think I've done maybe 4 story-specific missions.
Same here.
And I almost cried at this point.
Dang.
Like it was pretty heavy. That
it's not until the second planet until you have your entire crew put together anyway. So like there's like the tutorial phase, but it definitely you're piecing together. Like it's definitely setting up for a larger franchise at this point. Like they could definitely expand on it, I think.
I was trying to think about it like this, like the same kind of feeling I had with Mass Effect 1. It's like I went into that game and I didn't know anybody, right? Like you don't know any of the characters, you don't know the world. Like it's not predefined to you. You've seen some trailers and you're like, oh, that looks cool. This kind of feels like that. It's like a total reboot in a way that like disconnects you from the original games that partially like almost disappointed me, but then I realized, well, now there's opportunity for surprises again, which is something that you can like lose with a lot of sequels.
Well, it's almost entirely disconnected from the original series.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I'm already at 31 hours, and I'm still like waiting for it.
They're still definitely being from the Milky Way galaxy, the aliens that we know from Mass Effect, humans, Asari, Turian.
But you can actually find out a lot of the history if you want to do a little bit of reading. Like in game, you can do some reading and catch up on a lot of the background sort of stuff. Not Shepard specific timeline, but like biology, history, that sort of stuff. It's all in the game.
There's been a lot of question. Almost everyone I've asked when I say that I'm playing Andromeda, or I got a T-shirt when I pre-ordered the game. People ask me, when does it take place? And when you play the game, if, like Dylan said, if you do a little bit of effort, you can find out the exact year that the people inhabiting the Andromeda galaxy left Citadel space.
Which knowing that is super fascinating.
It makes it real. It makes me want to play it so much more. I almost missed out on 8 hours of sleep because of it.
Oh yeah, I've had some long nights.
How far are you guys in so far?
I'm 31 hours.
Nice.
Main story missions, I'm maybe one ahead of Jake.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm
5. I've completed 5.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think you might be. Well, do we want to count the tutorial mission?
Well, that's where I'm like, I don't know. So like,
let's not count that.
Yeah,
so as far as actual exploration done, I've been to 2 places.
Yeah, and I'm 3. But the thing is, okay, so I've done 3, and by all accounts, I've 100%ed those 3 places.
Yes.
But in the process, I've gone back and forth between them at least like 5 or 6 times in between different planets, where this planet led back to this planet. And it wouldn't have happened until you completed that planet. Like it definitely has it draws you back in, and it doesn't feel redundant. Like it opens new areas that you couldn't get to.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Even if you completely complete an area, there's a really good chance that it's going to take you back to that area for something else.
That's it's like Metroid almost. Like
and things change
that you can't do, but you need to come back later.
Yeah,
exactly.
And when you go back, things that you had done before have changed the area.
And I kind of like when that happens. It's happened twice to me so far. It might have happened twice to you. I'm not sure, depending on the planet you've gone to. When you go to a planet that's changed or it's wholly new, it depends sometimes. It will do like a kind of brief overview of like the lay of the land. You know what I mean? Like it'll give you general locations and like enemy activity in the area. And it did that for a new planet. And then it also did that for a planet I'd already gone to that I was revisiting later in the story missions. And it it shows the upgrade, like why there's more enemies, why there's more stuff. Like it explains it. You know what I mean?
After the patch that was just released that fixed a few animation and facial issues, did you notice that traveling from
the skip button?
Yes. So before this patch, anytime you traveled from planet to planet, you would have to watch your ship from the cockpit window fly through hyperspace to the planet, and it took forever.
And
they added a skip button.
It wasn't just it wasn't just like, oh, I need to get to this planet to land on the planet. Like it also was for planets you were just doing exploration scans.
Yes.
And for a person like me who needs 100% everywhere on my screen, it took, I think I put an hour and a half just flying from planet to planet, never landing. Like, and then they put this patch out, and now I hate it.
Look at a planet. You can see that it's there, but if you want to do anything else with it, it goes.
Yeah.
I remember they had one sequence where you landed on that first tutorial planet, and you see the thing go all the way down.
That's every time. No, that's every time. That wasn't just because of the tutorial. That was every time.
Yeah.
That was every single time.
Every single time?
Yes. It could make a 20-minute mission turn into a 40-minute mission.
Well, I'm glad
if you're going back and forth.
They updated it.
Yes. So they updated that.
You'll save a lot of time on that.
I need the Xbox controller. I need to update this right now.
So, and then
looks like there's 4 updates waiting.
Some other large things that they changed that people are really caught up in the animations and stuff like that. Like they definitely polish stuff, and I appreciate it. But they also expanded the in-game inventory, which I think they almost tripled it.
Yes.
Because I had an upgrade on mine, so I don't know what it goes to without the upgrades, but I can hold like 135 items now. So like, I pretty much never have to worry since I upgraded it.
Yes. So the one thing that's interesting that Mass Effect hasn't really had to deal with is you used to have an infinite inventory.
Yeah.
For
And this is kind of drawing it back into more of an RPG limits.
So you can only.
Oh no, that was the same thing as Mass Effect 1.
Yes.
Mass Effect 1. Oh god.
But they do have some caveats to it because like salvage doesn't take up inventory space.
Oh yes. Cool.
So it's like mods, weapons, armor. That's the
shit. I've been collecting all that stuff. I probably would have been already full if it wasn't.
And there's a quick sell button for salvage, so I mean you can make some quick cash that way and stuff like that. And then they also did a lot of buffs and nerfs on the weapons, not just the multiplayer, but also in single player.
I did review my single player build.
The biggest thing that I felt was because I'm like any game I play, I'm always more of a tank and melee fighter or up close. And they changed it where you can't just spam the melee button. If you're being hit by an enemy, it will actually stop your melee animation now. If you have multiple enemies hitting.
No. That is actually a very context-sensitive thing. There are specific melee weapons and
so
characters
OP.
that have abilities that if they melee attack you while yours is going off, it will stop you, and you can do the same thing.
It was so OP though. I loved it though.
Well, it's definitely happened to me, and I was not happy about it.
20 times.
Yeah, that was the best thing ever.
That's why I played the biotic, because it's better.
You play girl or boy?
Tech life. Huh?
Girl or boy?
Oh, a boy. Come on.
Or custom?
Custom. I make every character look as close to me as I can.
So how fucking ugly is your character?
I mean, you see it right here. You see this?
Wow.
What about you, Jake?
Well, I can't make my character look like mine because you can't change the body size to effing huge. So I tried to make him look like a tool. So
he looks like
playing
me?
a male. He looks like you with less of a beard.
Thanks.
And
you
like,
nice.
Oh well, yeah,
you
you do have kind of a. And then I gave him some funky looking eyes. And,
one big thing that they definitely toned down was you couldn't get rid of like the eyeliner look, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can tone it down, but you can't like 100% get rid of it. Because my guy, at least with my custom face,
just the eyelashes.
Like, there was a shadow under my eyeball, no matter what.
Yeah,
and since the patch,
because you never sleep, you look like
I know.
It
looked too much like it was kind of crazy
that you shouldn't even live in.
Hey,
and go to bed.
But the patch fixed it.
They didn't support the NBA 2K face scan. Have you ever seen those?
Yes, those are wonderful. You could just watch compilation videos of those. They're the best thing ever.
I did it a couple times, and I even had like a caved-in face one time.
Talk about animation face issues.
Someday I'll feature that on our channel. I'll just show off my old NBA 2K face scan. It's the most scary thing on the planet.
Nice.
And because it's accurate, not because it's fucked up.
So enough about NBA 2K whatever nonsense. We're talking about Mass Effect.
I was about to ask
Do you have any
Adam.
questions?
I was about to ask Adam a question because he's not been part of this and like he looks a little bored.
Oh,
wake the fuck up.
I'm all right.
Hey, I have a question. If you had to play, would you play as a boy or a girl, or would you be
girl? I always pick girl.
Custom, or would you default?
You're that guy.
Is the Sarah Ryder that I see in the videos the default Sarah Ryder?
Probably, yeah. Mine is Asian.
I don't know. I saw someone go through like the preset custom ones, and they were all so goofy. Sarah Ryder's a little goofy. I don't know. I haven't seen what she looks like post patch. I'd probably just stick with her.
She smiles even in like sad scenes, and it makes me weirded out. Like,
well, that was.
I wouldn't know. I'm a guy.
And you know why that is? I watched the video. Someone was saying that because when they do like the face scans and stuff, her default state is the smile, and you can tell because when you're in the character select, she's smiling. So what happens is when it's a serious scene and she's in her default, it comes out as a smile.
Attacked,
so that's probably fixable. That's
and you've got a
shotgun for sure.
And you're destroying it, and you're smiling the whole time.
And you're smiling, yeah.
I mean, that's what I would be doing.
Like I only noticed it a couple times. It was like a particularly dramatic scene pretty early on in the game,
and she just has a slight kind of like.
She's kind of smiling in the cheek. It's awful, but that was like the only time I had any facial animation things, so that's why I was like really shocked.
You know what it is? No. I have a rebuttal to the Bethesda thing.
Okay. Oh, you have a rebuttal to the Bethesda? No, man.
God.
at least for Skyrim.
All right, let's not bring Skyrim into this.
He's been
No,
researching
no,
for
no.
the last hour. So
I think what bugs me about the issues with the characters in Mass Effect is that, yeah, the combat's good and there is combat, but from what I hear, Mass Effect's is all about the characters. People love these characters.
No. Characters, not character models.
No, I'm not talking about the models.
Yeah, the actual
people love these
Writing.
characters.
Yeah.
And it's just it's like if I don't know, man. It's like if Nintendo made a Mario game and they made Mario not Mario, people would be like, this isn't the Mario I know. And so I see it as like, we were really good at making these characters, but then in Andromeda, it's like the characters kind of so and they look goofy, and it's just like that's your hook or your characters. Like
that's
not about how.
as opposed to Bethesda, where like people do goofy things, and most of the time, well, at least I never had a problem with Skyrim.
So.
Fallout 3, I had issues with where you'd get those weird graphical
Oh yeah,
like something in the environment would stretch
so
infinitely into the distance. But I think
that hasn't happened in Mass Effect, by the way.
No.
That's
The environment.
I did have the bug where enemies animations would get frozen, and they literally were like arms down, but shooting and like floating across the screen and shit. Like
I've heard
but
stories.
it only happened once,
That's
and
a fucking
then it was
what are we talking about?
I've heard stories where in the middle of combat, the enemies just turn invisible, but they can still shoot you.
That's called hard mode.
No, hang on. They're supposed to do that. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, right.
Wait, do they actually turn invisible sometimes?
Yes.
Oh no, the invisible.
She made it sound like it was a glitch.
No, the Destin turned invisible.
There are enemies that
They're
turn
motherfuckers.
She didn't say what kind of enemy it was.
Not only do they go invisible, they have shields and shotguns. It's not okay. It's a problem across the board.
with a shotgun.
Oh, that was like those Russia shotgunners in Division. Fuck those guys. Fuck
those guys
them.
But invisible. Yeah.
Oh no,
That's our life.
that's not fair. That literally had me almost.
And it's not just one or
kill
two.
a TV.
No, they come in hard. And
It's a pack.
Yeah.
I wish that Mass Effect was playable entirely co-op. Like I think Jake and I were talking about this. I was showing him Lego City Undercover, and like it's finally co-op. But I was just thinking like they need more like open world or like main storyline games that are just like co-op, online or split screen. Like
Yeah.
when did those go out the fucking window?
I don't think they work.
Huh?
No. So at least like with Mass Effect, so it's based off of your decisions, how stuff evolves.
Yeah, one person gets to make.
So if you have an asshole friend, could ruin everything. So if you're like 80 hours in and you ruin something,
the person's hands. Like
Well,
there has to be caveats and like parts that aren't going to work exactly as well.
The thing that I had always said about Mass Effect is
like a partial co-op.
multiplayer, but make the drop-in player control one of your 3 party members.
Yeah. Okay. So you still control the decisions, but they're just helping fight.
Yeah,
that makes more
the
sense.
host. It's their game, their save
Yeah.
file, but then the other person can drop in and help.
Okay.
out.
Yeah, that would make more sense. I mean, that would work with any of the Bioware. Like Dragon Age would be the same.
It would work with almost
It'd be
every
great.
game, and I wish it was in every game. It would be so much better.
Oh yeah.
So oddly enough, but before I bought Andromeda, somebody had mentioned that they were worried that it was going to seem a lot like Dragon Age. And with that in mind, there was a section of a world that I saw that was mapped exactly the same as the Hidden Valley from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
But see, I love Dragon Age. So
it was beautiful. The scene was beautiful. It fit the world. It fit the
it did.
I just looked at it. I said, this looks really familiar.
I did the same thing. I sat there for like a minute and I was like, huh.
Yeah. And then I pulled the map and looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute. And then
I was like, all right.
Beautiful scenery.
Yeah, really good.
And then something started shooting me, so I had to kill it. And then I went back to my view.
Yeah. No, Dragon Age Inquisition was fine. Its story was a little lackluster. That was my problem.
And I feel like so far, at least, I mean, like I said, only 31 hours in. Story-wise, I'm not disappointed yet. Like, I'm happy. Even the side quests have like backstories and stuff. And even if they don't have any effect of the main story, like I feel like it's well put together. And story-wise, written-wise.
So we're getting a little late. Like, what final thoughts? Mass Effect 3, or no, I'm sorry, that's the game I like. But no, Mass Effect Andromeda. Final thoughts so far. Like, if you had to, where would you place it within the time, like in the series, like is it as good as 1? Is it as good as 2? Is it as? I mean, it's early, so I'm not gonna do it final game.
It's hard because I'm not done yet.
Just shove it somewhere,
Uh,
and then I'll make fun of you later.
Second place.
Second place
Solid
behind
second.
which game? What's your number 1?
2. I like 2 the best.
I think that's most people's favorite. Yeah. Okay, Jake.
my order of ranking was 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
With Andromeda, it's definitely second after 2, and I could very easily see it becoming my favorite.
Yeah. Depending on how the story, unless they like completely drop the ball, like
which it
I'm happy so far. And
that is high fucking praise. Yeah. I'll say that.
And for if you're doing like
my favorite games ever.
Yeah, if you're doing value versus gameplay, like it's definitely worth $60. Like all day long. Like you're not gonna. It's like if you look at a game like Bomberman for $50, you know, and then you look at
rough,
like this, it's like
rough.
Unless you're a diehard, like I don't know. I look at my time as valuable.
I paid $30 with Amazon Prime and everything like that, and I had like a bunch of credit, so I ended up paying $0. Yeah. So
I heard you got that, so I had to give you shit.
But I do really enjoy it. But that was like because I love Bomberman from way back.
Yeah, but definitely like for the value, like you're definitely gonna get your time out of it. Like
I was never worried about time.
Yeah. Even a speed run's like 25 hours, I think.
I'll be honest, I'm not going to like put it in a ranking because that would be disservice. Like 2 hours into a game, no, that's fucked up.
Stop talking about it.
It's just good. So far it's good. Adam, what about you? What's your ranking?
I've only played 1, so I guess I could technically have to make 1 my favorite.
And worst.
And worst, yeah. It's at the top and the bottom of my list.
Correct.
The story is great. The gameplay and a lot was a little bit lacking.
Yes.
Adam, honestly, if you had to go and play these games, my recommendation would be start with 2. Just do the interactive comic before 2.
Catch up.
Yes.
There are some cool story points you will miss out on, and it's like unfortunate, but it's kind of a grind. I'm playing back through 1 like I was at least a little while backwards compatible on Xbox One. It's rough. There's some save points that like I once was playing a mission and I got to the very end and died and hadn't saved since the beginning of the mission. It was fucking an hour and a half in, and it put me at the beginning of the fucking mission. I about lost it. Like, and it's not an easy mission. Like, it was like bullshit.
Yeah. So
I about killed it.
With Mass Effect Andromeda, it's interesting that you mentioned that because the autosave, it like abuses its privileges. Because I died once and I spawned, no joke, 5 feet in front of the guy that killed me.
But it during main missions at least, it can only autosave. You can't manual save.
Yes.
Until the mission's over.
That's new.
So it's broken down into sections, but it is way too often. But it might be. Because you shouldn't be dying that much.
Good news. I think that we're on the fence about Project Scorpio. Adam and I are obviously still obsessed with Zelda. And you guys sound like you're obsessed with Mass Effect, so this is good.
Yeah, are we done? I gotta go save the galaxy.
Yeah,
I just found
10 more hours to put on.
We have 10 hours, and you're not gonna eat those up. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, any final thoughts before we sign off, guys?
No.
Mass Effect, buy it.
I think that's a big
Definitely.
no. Okay,
Definitely. I guess coming soon, I'll be doing little tidbit videos, and also within a month or so, me and the wife will be doing Ghost Recon playthrough. So we'll be doing recordings on that. So stay tuned for sure for those.
Yeah. I mean, subscribe, people who are watching this, please, please. We have 7. We could use 8.
Is anyone?
That'd be
watching?
Great.
Yeah. Jake, someone's always watching.
If you're watching, I am so sorry.
It might be his wife, which is great.
One of them's definitely the wife.
Okay, then it's probably me on the other one. Just have you in the background.
It's okay. We get views on YouTube. We'll be all right.
Exactly. We had 14 on the last one. Maybe we'll get back to its initial video, which had like 50.
Yeah, we had a good one. Good run.
How did you go from 50 to yourselves?
I don't know, dude.
Because you weren't on the second one, Jake.
I didn't spend the money on it. You know, I didn't advertise. That's my mistake.
I was a little busy at the time. So
thanks, Jake. Yeah, we lost you, and then our viewers.
I wasn't in the first one.
You were in the first one.
You were definitely in the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
We've only done 3. This is the third one.
Oh.
Yeah. You were in the first one. You were, yeah.
So people come to see me. I'm sorry.
I didn't
Apparently, yeah.
realize that.
No, they
Don't
come to
worry,
see
guys.
us.
I'll be back next
Come to see
week.
us.
It's all good.
I doubt he'll be back, but
Plenty more Mass Effect to come.
Just steal his disc. You'll be fine.
oh man. Anyway, it's a pleasure, guys. Anyway, from Gamekod3rs, we're signing off here. And subscribe, like, comments, all the bullshit. And we will bring you more crazy ass video game coverage soon. So thanks for joining me, guys.
Yep.
Dudes.
Bye.
Deuces.